Hello, fellow dreamers, and welcome to my space. So today we're going to be doing a lunar framework session on the first quarter in Pisces. And so we've recently come through the waxing crescents in both Capricorn and Aquarius, all beginning at that new moon in Sagittarius during this beautiful Sagittarian season. And so now we're coming up on this first quarter in Pisces. And now first quarters tend to be about like drawing energy in, and things are starting to pick up speed. We're starting to excel. So with just kind of, like a little recap of what's happened previously, and during the crescent moons, there was a period of isolation that we were all kind of, in a sense, volunteering ourselves into, so that we could come into a place where we're mending ourselves. It had a feeling of like self-care, self-love, really just diving into self and bringing all of the pieces that we had kind of scattered throughout everything and pulling them back in and putting them into one solid piece, so that we could, I would assume, so that we could eventually like go public. That going public came up in the crescent. I think it was, yeah, it was in the crescent moon in Aquarius. So as we're moving into this first quarter in Pisces, Piscean energy is a highly spiritual energy. So it's like we're drawing in, I want to say we're drawing in spiritual energy. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom of the deck and see the underlying energy of this first quarter. All right. So I don't know why I'm seeing like a croissant, because it's shaped like a crescent. I don't know. Maybe one of you is eating a croissant right now. So we have the Ten of Cups here as the underlying energy, which is really lovely, because I'm just taking a look at this one as well. Hang on, let me pull it out real quick. It was the sea turtle. So the fascinating part about this, is that in the Capricorn seasonal reading, which will be posted shortly, we were all coming on board to a train into like the new year. And what I'm seeing here with this Ten of Cups is that the underlying energy of this first quarter in Pisces is that I'm actually seeing these two depart from each other. But even though there's a departure, it's like they're both still very much connected emotionally. It's kind of like having to send off one of your loved ones is taking a plane or a train or whatever they're traveling in some type of way. The sea turtle talks to me about a change in location. So they're traveling in some sort of way, and the energy of this last quarter, the underlying energy, is having to kind of kiss someone goodbye, like bid them farewell, all in love and in harmony and these gorgeous things. It's like there's a trust. That's interesting. There's actually a feeling of trust that is coming over, that they'll come back, that they'll return, that this trip isn't one it's not a forever trip. And it's like I'm sensing that, of course they will be coming back, because they're taking this child, right? They're taking this child with them, and they're going to another place. So it's like you wouldn't remove this child, I'm assuming, like from their mother, right? So it's like they have to come back in order to be with their mother, or for the child of the manifestational like element that the two of you have created together, whatever that may be. It's being presented as a child, but it could totally be anything. It's like they would have to come back in order to continue to nurture whatever this is. this could even be the actual relationship itself. It's like, you know, two people coming together, and then this child here being the consciousness of the relationship. And so it's like they're taking this and moving into another space, but there's a trusting element here that they're going to return. They're going to return. And that's actually, it's fascinating because that's actually what the Yule reading was talking about as well today. So it's interesting that, you know, all of the sun, the moon, everything is starting to link up together. It's very fascinating for me. And I love how, like, the moon and the sun and even all the zodiac signs, it's like I'm starting to see like how everything is like linked together, how we are all interconnected, which is actually, it was actually the purpose of doing these readings. Okay, I'm going on a tangent, but yeah, so that's the underlying energy of this first quarter in Pisces. And I'm just realizing that, you know, this is all cups energy, and which is Piscean energy. It's the water energy. So it's like trusting that your bond is still there, even no matter how far. Trusting that your bond is still there, no matter how far away your loved ones are. That's beautiful. So on the split, the bridging energy, where this energy is taking us. Now, of course, you could be one or the other on this side here. And this bridging energy, I'm going to assume that maybe we're the ones that are like staying. We're the ones here that are staying. I'm just going to read it from that perspective. And so with us staying and sending off our loved ones, you know, they're going into the furthest reaches, if you will. We are presenting as this prophet in the bridging energy, which is really fascinating card to me, because it talks about a connection. It talks about a connection that brings about lots of arcane knowledge and information, occultic, like magic and wisdom, and all of these really esoteric. And it's like I'm almost hearing like hush like hush knowledge, that type of stuff that you would probably want to keep secret in a sense. It's very interesting. It's like so this seems to be happening in a very intimate setting with yourself. Okay, so the interesting part here is that we have our underlying energy is of one of sending off our loved ones, like, you know, bidding them adieu, all of that, and trusting that they are going to return eventually. But in the meantime, there's this prophet, which is an energy of it's like coming back into ourselves. And I don't know, it's like discovering our own spirituality again, like discovering our own spiritual practices, the things that we do, you know, maybe like for me, right? I have the snake here. Maybe you're connecting, you know, with your tools, like your tarot or divination practices, things like that. It's the prophet. So you're wanting to see the future in a way. So it's like coming back into self and connecting with these types of practices that allow you to see the future, like divination, for instance. And so it's fascinating because it's like, while there's trust that this one is going to return. Oh, I'm just noticing all like the reptiles here. You know, this one has, they're taking the turtle and they're moving to another place. And this one has the snake. I don't know what this, there's something to do with reptiles. I don't know what that is. It's like all, during this time, everyone is connecting with their, like their reptilian parts in a way, which to me is talking about their basic and core principles of like staying alive. Because the reptile to me is like, they haven't gone, the reptile hasn't gone through much of an evolution throughout, just speaking like for now, it's like they haven't gone through a lot of evolution. It's like they still retain a lot of their like prehistoric attributes, right? Like the turtle and the snake are, they, for some reason, they like remind me of dinosaurs in Jurassic. It's like they haven't really evolved expansively. And so there's kind of like a going back to basics type of thing that's being presented here. And so for this one who is traveling with the sea turtle, it's like whatever this is what their basic element is like carrying. This is fascinating. It's like they're carrying like the manifestations, they're carrying their manifestation, not their manifestations, both of your manifestations with them. It's the ones that you would be building together is what I'm trying to say. It's like they're carrying, almost as if like this is a female sea turtle and she's got all of her eggs, you know, brooding inside of her, and she's traveling to a beach to lay all of these eggs. It's like that type of thing. So that's their basic element. And yours is of this snake, which is talking about the acquisition of occultic knowledge. It's very intense. So, and of the future. So it's like everyone is kind of going back to their basic element right now, which for me is talking about the core thread of your own spirituality. So whatever you focus on, your practice, that type of thing, it seems as though that's where we're drawing energy in from. So that's fascinating. So going back to basics, drawing energy from our practices, could be divination practices, or like giving birth to new things. All right, so let's look at the overall energy here. And the overall energy is of this Page of Wands. Okay. Page of Wands talks about a brand new adventure. And with this Page of Wands that's showing up here, and you know, we had the underlying energy is of these two, this connection. It's almost as if this connection is a unbreakable connection. What I'm seeing is that whoever you are connected with, because it's like it's Piscean energy, it's the two fish, it's the two that are intrinsically entwined together. So it's whoever you are like super connected with. It's like even if you guys are kind of splitting paths and going into two different directions, going in on two different adventures, knowing that you both are eventually going to come back together. But it's like right now, this overall energy is of like finding yourself, finding your path, not your true path, because it's like you're always on path, but finding yourself along your path, this new path that we are all, in a sense, approaching. It's like we're coming into this new year, we're coming into this winter solstice where everything is going to begin to turn in a direction that is back towards each other. But along this last stint of pathway, if you will, of time, it's as if all of us are in some ways like actually like separating out a little bit. Maybe that's because we're all intrinsically feeling that well, kind of like with that energy of the crescent moon in Aquarius, it's like we needed isolation to mend ourselves back together. Now we're coming into a space where we're feeling whole and ready to set out on a new adventure. And so we do, and it's like that pathway is here to really solidify and find ourselves. It's like finding out who we are, finding a new element of us. And the way it's laid out is like this page of wands is walking back into the prophet. So it's like reconnecting with yourself, your spiritual practices, all of that stuff. But also kind of keeping in mind that the ones who are also in this same type of practice, who have begun to isolate themselves or travel or move off or all of that stuff, it's like there's also a knowing that they are eventually going to come back. So enjoy this first quarter in Pisces. And this reading was a little all over the place. Sometimes it just be like that. So I shall see you guys next time, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.